Welcome to another episode of Ship of War, my review of Neighbors. Neighbors is directed by Nicholas Stellar. It stars Seth Rogen, Zac Efron, Rose Byrne, and a bunch of other very hilarious actors and actresses. Now, the premise of the story follows a married couple played by Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne. They're living a pretty happy life in their little house with their baby and just being a married couple, and then along the way, a fraternity decides to move right next door to them. And at first, they're cool with it, but the fraternity is ran by Zac Efron's character, whose idea of having a fraternity is just to basically throw parties. Because of that, Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne's characters become upset. And once that happens, everything just goes haywire, and this movie becomes a pretty hilarious film in so many ways. I have to say, I went into this movie with pretty high expectations because normally I really do like Seth Rogen movies. And I have to say, this movie did not disappoint when it came to making me laugh, personally. I laughed a lot during this film. But I have to say, I'm surprised with Rose Byrne being as funny as she was, because I know she has the ability to do comedy, but in this film she just worked so well with Seth Rogen, and I think that whole dynamic between them made the movie what it was. But of course there's also Zac Efron and Dave Franco and McLovin. I always forget the actor's name, but he was also in this film, and just them three also made this film pretty hilarious. Such a well-crafted movie to a certain extent. I do have a negative for the film, and it's a scene that happens between the second and third act between Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne. They have this scene that really took me out of the movie because I wasn't sure if they were being serious or they weren't, because they were doing a lot of things to get back at the fraternity next door. So when this scene happened, I thought that they were joking around, kind of like putting an act, but it was an actual scene, and that's like my biggest complaint with this movie, was that one particular scene. Overall, this movie was pretty hilarious. I laughed out loud so many times during this film. If you want to see a good, fun, hilarious film that you're gonna laugh at, go check this movie out, because it won't be a disappointment. Though, if you don't like Seth Rogen in any form, or if you find him to be annoying, don't go see this movie, because obviously that comedy is not your type. If you like his comedy, then there's a very big chance that you will absolutely adore this movie, have a great time with it. This is definitely one of those movies you have to go with a big group of friends, because it's just a lot more fun. So that is my review of Neighbors. Thank you for watching, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. Transcendent is directed by Wally Pfister. It stars Johnny Depp, Rebecca Hall, Morgan Freeman, and then a bunch of other very talented actors, and then one actress. Now, the premise of the story follows Johnny Depp's character and Rebecca Hall's character, and they're a married couple, and they're both into the same type of science. They're like computer programmers in a sense that want to take computers and make them into artificial intelligence that can help humanity, and that's basically